to keep it nice and clean, not freak out and cause a scene. I try to hold it together, keep it together. Not sure who I really am, just be cute and super bland. I try to hold it together.
Welcome back to Basel for Swiss Nationals 2023 here on ULTI.TV. I'm Stef Pazzo with Ulrike Lehmann this time around. How are you this morning?
Yeah, thank you. I'm good. I just arrived. The trains in Switzerland running on time, so just perfect on time for this exciting game. Let's see how it goes.
Wonderful stuff. As I mentioned the last time, it's I was going to have a bunch of players scattered throughout this tournament that will be joining as guest commentators. Ulrike is the first of those. She plays for, I'm figuring out things as I go, Fly High Lausanne. How far away is Lausanne from here in Basel?
Yeah, I would say like it took me almost 3 hours to get here, so not just around the corner.
Okay, yeah, that's
close to Geneva.
Okay, so that is western.
Yes.
West Switzerland.
Exactly, and the French-speaking part.
Ah oui, je comprends. And what is Lausanne famous for?
I would say it's the vineyards all around, the beautiful lake views, and wine, chocolate, as most cities are.
Exciting stuff. Well, enough about Lausanne and more about these teams. Where are Scorillaz from?
Scorillaz, they are from Bern. They're one of the teams from Bern.
Okay, and what can you tell me about Scorillaz? Namely, about the size of their roster?
Yeah, so they're one of the 3 clubs in Bern, and they're the newest one. So they're still recruiting people. They're trying to get people to come to play for them. And unfortunately today they only brought 8 people to play with them. So let's see how fit they are. It's their first game, so probably there will be some running involved.
All right, well, we're underway. We'll have more to talk about Bern, particularly in that last round, but that will come later. Right now, Scorillaz open things up with the disc in their own end. So that gets back to Eggenberg. Ooh, he gets a big gainer there. Lots of yardage to the number 8 shirt of Hadi. Ooh, nice take, but there's a pick called. It gets into the hands of Rüttlin, but I think it's going to come back, Ulrike.
Yeah, but he was very, very free.
That's what we say, suspiciously open. The suspicion is that there must be a pick.
But looking at his matchup, he's probably always open in the air.
Yeah, that defender should be behind, I would say. Scorillaz doing it with the 8 players. That throw stays in bound. Elsemans now goes to Stengelen. Up and around, Negri. Ooh, needs a layout, gets a great play. And right back to Elsemans. Elsemans shoots forward, and now for goal, but it's not going to come back in. So Stengelen sends that one a bit too far. His error will give Free2speed their first chance to break. When will your first game today be, Ulrike?
It will be the semi-final in the women's division. And we don't know who yet. They're playing right now, our potential opponents.
Okay, so surely you've got teammates watching that game and doing some scouting to find out who?
Absolutely. We had some people arriving early to having a look. We have Nikki Miglioretto with the pass.
sends a big one and right off the hands of Casper Hui. Nicky Miglioretto must be related to Luca Miglioretto.
He is. He's the big brother.
He's the big brother. Luca's the big brother, or Nicky's the big brother?
Nicky is the big brother.
Okay.
He's been playing for a really long time in Switzerland. He had a big hand in the youth development for many, many years. And now he decided not to play too competitive anymore. He joined the second Frisbee team to help develop younger players. There are a lot of young players in this team.
Love to see it. Unfortunately, don't love to see Negri dropping a layout there, but it was just a bit too far out in front, and he couldn't squeeze the hand on it.
Yeah, very colorful play by the colorful Scorillaz.
Yeah, what do you think of these Scorillaz jerseys and uniforms?
Yes, but they're kind of with the name Scorillaz, so they're really taking the tropical theme with the apes and everything, or gorillas, really, really far. They're also organizing a tournament called the Burning Ape.
The Burning Ape, that's a play on Burning Man?
Yes.
And I mean, even their numbers are made out of bananas on the back of their jerseys, and their cheer at the start of the game was very ape-like as well. That's about all I can say is ape-like. That's a great run there. Sato catches up to that one, and now has about a meter to go, but he's still looking backwards. Now, no, he got a hand to it, but preservation of greatness, Utenga lets it get away.
So Scorillaz get another chance at their first hold.
First hold still available. Can they make it happen? Stengelen sends one, and we're into a high turnover count early in this game. So
we get Nicky Miglioretto picking the disc back up again. Let's see if he will try another deep throw as the other two times, or if he will come. Free2speed will come up with something new.
I think he's going to throw it deep again. If I was a betting person, based on patterns, consistency.
Setting up in a side stack this time, so maybe it's an isolation play in the center. Let's see.
Yeah, here they are. We've got everybody's still intact in the stack so far. It's pushing towards middle. Here's the initiation. And what has he done? Well, he's jacked it, but that one goes to the wrong player. Rutlin dumps it back and up and over. Ooh, and that one falls away. Makrosky the thrower, but the error came otherwise. Now Miglioretto gets a forwarding throw, and another meters away from the goal line, goes back to Miglioretto. He finds an inside lane, and that one counts for a goal. It's 1-0 Free2speed, and it looks like the goal scorer there is Jablonski.
Yeah, he was all on his own in the break side, so really a good idea by Nicky to Miglioretto to kind of throw that inside one. And conditions get a little bit windy here, so I think being careful with the disc might come in handy.
Yes, I mean, we said Nicky might just throw it deep again. He did throw it deep, but they did tidy up in their own end this time. Their last possession was a little bit sloppy when they got to the goal line area. This time, a little neater. So that's a break right away. So Free2speed get the break. It was a very long break.
Yes.
That can't be good for a team with 8 players to have long points that go against them. It's going to be tough for Scorillaz, but I mean, they got to be able to respond early, or else this game could get ugly.
Yes, absolutely. Let's hope they have enough bananas in the tank.
I like the way you put that. So we have so much to talk about, of course, but did you hear about the other quarterfinal results in the Open Elite division?
Yeah, I heard some things. Okay. Like from what I heard, like most of the games went as you would expect.
Most, but we'll talk about maybe one that didn't go as per expectations after this point. Scorillaz.
Yeah, it's a bit of zony stuff from Free2speed there.
That is Stingelin. Goes to the far sideline. Now pops one up into the middle. Negri. Not quite to the middle, but just chisels forward, in fact. Now swings to the wide side, and it's Stingelin again. He's gone deep. Receiver is there. Great hands, but not in. Eggenberg hands on to the deep shot. And now quick dump back to Elsemans and in quickly for goal.
Yeah, really nice give and go play there. Just don't look forward, just do your dump and then a few steps back and in we are in the end zone.
Beautiful.
Really good.
Elsemans with the goal. He's that catch, I think, really set up, well, everything. I mean, that's where the deep throw came from. Scorillaz looked better. And in fact, they were going upwind this time, aren't they? The wind, it's a little bit left to right. So they couldn't score on their downwind hold, but they did score on their upwind hole.
That is something that's interesting. I noticed that often teams have an easier time scoring against the wind than with it, because they get so fast when you throw it and they fall down so much quicker. Whereas if they're floating for a little bit against the wind, you can always try to jump them down, as we just saw there.
Yeah, well done. Okay, so let's talk about those quarterfinals. So this is the open second division. What's it called here? This is the open lower pool. And we just saw the quarters in the open elite pool. We streamed Solebang beat Crazy Dogs. We know that Flying Angels beat Wisdom, and we know that Free Speed beat Flying Colors. And then there are the champs, the Panthers of Bern. And we're just going to keep you with a little bit more suspense here as Free2speed try their first hold of the game with their O-line on the field. Oh,
he was probably already thinking about his next pass.
Geeson. Yeah, that's what we call dropping a sitter. He was sitting right in front of him. There's no excuse. And that one just a little too high.
They get another, Free2speed gets another chance to score that point.
Disc is into play. Who had to readjust there, but did readjust. Jablonski, hammer. That one's got a double helix on it, and whoa, great second effort there. 23 shirt, Bertrand, and then he throws the assist.
Yeah, great awareness there. Just if it doesn't work at the first try, maybe the second one will do the charm.
Yeah, that was just a great show of concentration. I think the defender outplayed him on the first effort. The defender had position, got the touch on it, but that is just a show of not giving up by Luca Bertrand, wearing number 23 like Michael Jordan and playing like Michael Jordan, the GOAT, a little bit right there as well.
And I think the assist was also a hammer.
Yeah.
So it was like hammer, hammer.
Hammer Brothers, like the old Mario Brothers game. So, Panthers last year shocked the world.
They did.
Nobody was expecting them. It's Free Speed and Flying Angels tend to win all the time in Swiss Nationals. And last year, Panthers knocked them both out in semis and then in finals, took down the champs. This year, defending champions.
Yeah, they did very well last weekend, but somehow today, maybe, I don't know, they weren't there for the first game, not ready. Or Zurich just took them by surprise because they played against Platzhirsch from Zurich. And from what I heard, Zurich won that game.
Yeah, that is confirmed. Robin Brudelin came off the field and said that, yeah, he heard it was a great game. Of course, it was going on next to the one he played, so he couldn't pay too much attention. But, yeah, it went back and forth. And in the second half, it sounds like Zurich had the lead and maintained the lead no matter what Panthers did. They just couldn't pull them off. So big upset on day one. Defending champs are out. Here comes Scorillaz, and they're looking at a zone, a puppy fence as it's called, a 1-3-2-1 zone. Down and around, McCroskey. Zips one over, and the three handlers going back and forth here. Stingelin.
He's looking for options. They're moving backwards, now forward. The point before they were on offense, they did a pretty good job against the zone. Let's see how they do this time.
Did we see the same zone? They saw the same zone last offensive possession, you think?
It was a zone. I don't know what was exactly. I think it was not set up as well. Like this one looks a bit better formed.
Okay. Well,
but so far they're doing a good job.
They're getting it done. McCroskey, look at that. The young fella, the son of, no, wait a minute, the father of one of the Free Speed ladies players, gets that left hand forehand. He gave a motion with the head there, gave a nod, yes, cut the line, I'll throw it to you. And that's a beautiful throw. So how many teams are in the women's division?
Nine teams, yeah.
And how many teams still have a chance? So right now, I guess there's 6. 2 have
already
advanced to the semis. And then so there's 4 that are still playing for the remaining 2 spots.
Exactly.
So these are the pre-semis.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not quite a quarterfinal. It's a pre-semifinal. Okay. So living and learning about the Swiss draw. Not like the Swiss draw at Windmill, but how the Swiss National Championship draws up their schedules and their brackets.
Yeah, but often they have to be creative every year because the number of team tends to vary.
Yeah, of course, and with national championships in smaller countries, I guess, where the encouragement is to get more. If there's teams that are getting close to the level and they're willing to be participating, that's where tournament organizers make exceptions and say, yes, okay, we'll change our schedule to have more inclusion.
Yes.
Which is, of course, great. Okay. Is Niggy Miglioretto going to jack it? No, not on his first touch. So, Free2speed back to Miglioretto. He fakes the overtop. Oh, and a hand block! And then bounces off the chest, and Scorillaz have a short field now. Forwarding throw. That goes to Hadi.
Let's see if they can get the break back that they conceded at the first point.
They would like that, wouldn't they? 66 sends a forehand, but Elsemans didn't like the shape of that one. It didn't come out of his hand the way he would have liked.
Also, his defender was really tight on him, so he didn't really have a lot of space to move around to get free.
So probably should have looked back to the dump space in that situation.
Absolutely. Or swing.
Any other option.
But it often happens that you're in front of the end zone and you get end zone eyes. You just want to score that point no matter what, and you get so excited and forget all other options that are open to you.
Of course, end zone eyes, the likening to bedroom eyes. The same kind of situation when you get too excited. Calm down, take your time and breathe. Everything will be better. Miglioretto. Oh, he slices hard, but a bit too hard. Finds a bit too much air and sails out beyond the far sideline. Now the 13 shirt again, Stengelen, who was so kind to come over in the pregame and help us out with the rosters. Elsemans. There's the gainer. Oh, he tried to catch it on his feet. It looked like he had to lay out for it, but he thought he could catch up.
It's just in this in-between space. It's like, can I catch it like this? Do I have to jump? And then you thought about it and it's too late.
Yeah. And the wind is just, it's coming, it's going, it's coming, it's going. Some of those discs are, they're floating, they're dropping. A little bit difficult to predict. That one also difficult to predict, but
good reads there.
Jablonski comes under and does get the read there. Ulrike. Miglioretto. What are we going to see? We're going to see him wind up and distribute a nice conservative gaining throw. The perfect throw, and Bertrand zip, and he does find the hole there. Jablonski with the goal, and that looked pretty nice. The second string, since when I said, what are we going to see from Miglioretto, what we saw was not bad, eh?
Instead of a deep look, it was like again a nice inside throw to Hui, and then just bam bam into the end zone. It's also probably on these longish points that Scorillaz start to feel that they're only 8, so their defense is maybe not as awake, and that makes it a bit easier for the free speed players to just find the open spaces to jump into.
So checking the chats here, Swiss Scouter, thank you for your donation. That's wonderful. Best jerseys in Switzerland, he says, at a Scorillaz. They're a bit too busy for my liking, but I respect your opinion. You can have that.
Usually, yeah, so there's only a few of them that wear the full kit, that also have the short that go with it. And if you pay attention, they have a hand mark or a gorilla hand mark on the backside.
And Swiss Scouter, thank you. We're very happy to stream this game. We worked with the Swiss Federation to make sure we tried to get as much representation from as many teams as possible. And then, of course, the semis and the finals. Well, that depends on winning. So you got to win to get into those ones. We don't get to choose.
Absolutely. This is what my team is trying to do later today.
We got to find a way to get on the stream. I mean, we got to find a way to get in the semifinals. Same thing. Which is more prestigious? Well, they're equal.
But these are teams that won't be in the semifinals, so they're also really happy that they're being streamed, because I don't think they get many chances to see themselves on the stream.
Well, let's see it then. Free Speed will get some chances. They've got 4 different teams here at this home tournament, 3 in the open division and 1 in the women's. And at least 3 of them are getting streamed today. So Scorillaz, this is a bit more of a rare chance. And here they go. Going upwind, but the wind has died again. It is very calm in this very moment. Anton Elsemans. As the stall count rises, the throw also rises. A bit of wind under it, but it completes. Negri. He was pointing to it like Babe Ruth would have, and he makes it count like Babe Ruth would have.
Yes.
Eggenberg with the goal.
These 2 players probably know each other well, and it's like, okay, I want you to go over there, and he knew how fast he had to run to catch that one. And good positioning there. The defender, even though he was right at the shoulder, didn't really have a chance to contest the catch.
And so, by your estimation, Ulrike, which city in Switzerland has the most players, like has the most participation in Ultimate right now? Is it Bern?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By a large margin. They have 3 teams in the city, so it's like even
so 3 clubs,
yeah,
3 separate clubs.
Exactly, 3
so
clubs.
That's Panthers,
Fab,
Flying Angels, and Scorillaz. And do Scorillaz do mixed or women's, or are they right now open only?
Oh, they're actually more a mixed club. There was the attention when the club was founded that they wanted to play mixed, because Panthers and also Fab, they don't really focus on mixed. They focus more on the single genders, and players who wanted to play mixed came up with the idea to have a club that focuses on mixed. But they had a really hard time finding a lot of women. So for a long time they only played open, but since a few years they can play mixed, and they do, and they love it.
Fantastic stuff. And then after Bern, I guess Basel and Zurich would be the next 2. Am I right, or?
Yeah, I think it would be probably Zurich. They used to have several clubs, but they all melded into one, which is Zurich Ultimate now, which is a fairly big club. But then the next biggest club is actually the Crazy Dogs.
Ah, really? Stans. We just saw them play, of course. In the last game, they lost to Solibang, the Bangers. All right, Free2speed. Miglioretto.
You can really see that he's kind of pulling the strings in the team.
Yeah, he quarterbacks this offense, and I mean that's why, as you said at the beginning, well, that's why he's on a team like this. If he wanted to still train every day, 3 days a week, he could probably still make it the Free Speed 1. But it's easier for him to give back and, you know, make possessions last a little longer, make offense feel more efficient, and it really helps the other players play roles better when they've got somebody.
Unfortunate
like him.
overthrow there. Scorillaz get another chance at the break.
And there's
Or
a
is it-
big poach because one Bertrand from Free2speed was 20 meters back, but they've caught up now. No, that one too far, so Free2speed will get a second chance to hold.
Yeah, looking at the Free2speed team, you can see a lot of really young faces as well. Like there's at least 2 or 3 under 20 players in their team.
Miglioretto goes to Bertrand, and this time he can't. Hang on, good defense there to break it up.
But you can also see Bertrand lurking in the back there, always hoping that this kind of throw will come.
Yeah, he likes to be the snake in the grass and running for the deep glory. But not this time, and McCroskey can't hang on to that one a bit too much. Mustard? Is there Swiss mustard?
Yeah,
Not the most popular condiment. Bit too much hot chocolate on it. And speaking of hot chocolate, Miglioretto, the finger's a bit too slick for that one, and that does not throw or fly the way he wanted it to.
Maybe too much sunscreen.
Yes, maybe that too. Here comes Scorillaz. Elsimons. Wide and around, finds Negri, but actually finds the grass just too far in front. Miglioretto taking his time to approach the disc. And he's got Samuel Dorn waiting in the flank space. Goes to Dorn and straight back to Miglioretto. This time he puts a whole lot of zip on it, and they got very lucky there.
Yes, very lucky. It was just high enough with a little bit of wind under it that the defense could not get there, and then the tall Jakublonski in the back to catch it.
Yeah, you got to be good to be lucky, I guess, is what they say. But yeah, we got to give him a bit of luck that time to get the goal. So that should that's a lead taker again. 4-3 for Free2speed.
It's actually quite a tight game. It's like both teams kind of producing a lot of turns. So every point is hard fought on both sides.
Yeah, we'll see if that could be the difference in the game. Whoever can start holding cleanly, if particularly if it's Scorillaz, seeing that they've got a 8-player roster. If they can start getting some clean holds, shortening their time working with the disc, shortening their time and like pressure play where they've got to maintain possession, then that could be the difference. Of course, I think if Free2speed starts holding cleanly, then Scorillaz could be in a bit of trouble leaving their O-line on the field more.
Absolutely. And you got Free2speed. They have their youngest player pulling. His name Finn Rummelt.
How old is he? Estimate.
He's probably turning 17 this year.
Okay, same age as me. Okay, maybe a little bit younger.
I think your voice is a bit gravelier than his.
And did we just get a drop pull?
Maybe.
We did. Or a drop first throw that we looked away from. It would have had to be a drop pull if it happened that quickly.
It looked more like a drop pull. I would say like the embarrassment of
Yes.
on the face.
That's the best kind of defense if you're Free2speed, if you can get a drop pull.
But often teams manage to defend.
And
Not in this
boom.
case.
No, straight in. Roberto Motola gets the goal, and that's an easy way to do it. I mean, Scorillaz, as far as becoming tired from a point like that, no. that was as clean of a break as you can get. That was a one-throw break.
Absolutely.
That is very rare.
And talking about clean points, for Free2speed, that was one.
Yes, you cannot get any cleaner than that when you start on defense and the whole point has one throw. So, unfortunate error for Scorillaz and taken advantage of by Free2speed. 5-3. That break stretches the lead to 2. Of course, we are just about 30 minutes in, just about 29 minutes into this game right now. And that pole floats and lands at about the midfield mark, so
Yeah,
not
against the wind, pulling is a bit trickier.
And here come the Scorillaz. There's Elsimon, throws low, great pickup there though.
Yeah, by the tallest player on the team, he was getting really low there.
Rutland. Elsimon's hammer. That one's hanging and well taken. Scorillaz get a clean hold to follow up the drop pull against. That's as good as you can do to follow that up.
Absolutely. Maybe the teams were listening to us when we told them to start playing a bit cleaner.
Yes. I mean, that's all it takes, right? Listen to the commentators, and then we'll play clean. Otherwise, we had no interest in that. But, I mean, it also shows, you know, that as the game develops, they feel each other out as opponents. They start to get a rhythm internally in their own team, and they can start firing a little bit more, showing off what their offense is meant to look like. And that case there, I mean, you got to give it to the big man Rutland for getting that low catch that really kept the possession alive. But otherwise, a pretty flashy point, the hammer to finish. So you got to love that.
Absolutely. You get some of the wrong sports equipment flying around through our setups here.
Soccer balls,
Yeah,
footballs.
They love shooting at the goals that are facing direction of ultimate players.
Yes. I mean, there's 2 goals there. They should move the second goal so it blocks the spaces in between, not directly behind. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Miglioretto, surprise, surprise. He shoots to Bertrand, but he can't get there. I think Bertrand gets sucked in by the defense a little bit. I think he might have read that better.
Yes. Tried to stretch as long as he could, but still couldn't get there.
I mean, he had the big fella in front of him, Rutland. So you can understand, okay, is it going to go over him or not? But he still tried to read Rutland. Speaking of, Rutland is wide open at the back, but that's a big throw upwind. Ooh, and almost intercepted, but either way, it's a turnover. And Miglioretto, a
scoober.
Silky smooth scoober indeed to Bertrand. So that connection that missed on the big one hit on the break chance, or the second chance rather. And so
with Free2speed, you can really see that people have the roles that they like to take on. Bertrand likes to strike deep. Miglioretto likes to put it there.
To throw goals. Assist thrower, goal scorer. Those 2 are letting it be known to the viewers at home what they like to do. Speaking of you viewers at home, we love you so much. Please give us a like. We've got 8 likes. That's nice, but we'll take a couple more. And while you're at it, subscribe. And of course, we always remind you, and right now more than ever, because we are so close to 500 patrons, community members, paying members. We would love to have more Swiss members part of our community. For less than the price of a coffee a month, you can help out, of course, with your funds, but also to be part of the community is really great for us to increase our numbers, to help find more external funding, to convince and help motivate sponsors to get on board. They love to see that we have engaged community like that. So please consider going to the ULTI.TV website and pressing the patron button and signing yourself up.
It's really easy.
You better believe it, Ulrike.
I already did this, so I know how it's done.
Well, see, we love you for that. We love having our Swiss patrons. They help so much. And of course, you get little benefits. Hang on a minute. We've got a play happening here.
Yes. Also, Scorillaz now trying to put it deep and connecting.
Oh no! Was that Jablonski got a hand on that, or was it a straight up drop?
I think it was a mix.
Yeah, maybe he got just a little finger on it, but Rüthlin couldn't hang on. He probably should have.
They tried to go for the quick give and go to squeeze it in through and underestimated the length of the arm of Jablonski.
Yeah, Jablonski does have some long arms looking back out there at him. And Sonderegger kicked that one off, and a big fake before things are centered. Playing right in the middle of the field now. Utenga goes wide side, takes 5 to 7 meters, and that one not the right shape. Oh, but almost a second effort on the Mac. Elsemans and the Scorillaz, they get another chance. McCroskey upfield again, past midfield, shot too deep. And we cleaned things up for a little bit there, and now we're going back and forth again.
Absolutely. So the wind picked up a bit more, so maybe now they need to think twice about the choice of throw that they want to do. And here, I mean, the thrower had the choice of 3 players going deep, and somehow he missed all of them.
It happens. It can happen sometimes.
Often it's actually more difficult to throw to somebody with more people go in the same direction. Somehow your brain can compute.
Yeah. It's like throwing in public. Throw it anywhere but that person. Throw it anywhere but that person. Then you end up inevitably hitting that person.
Floater.
Oh, well, that was a speculator, but Free2speed come away with the goods.
Yeah, Hui got his hand on that one.
Sonderegger sends back to Hui. And the underneath to Sato. Now the up line. Hui again, the recipient from Utenga. Shot, ooh, the defense was closing, and wide open Jablonski as he triple claps, insisting on the goal.
Made himself known that he was there.
Yes, do not look anywhere else but here, is what he says.
But then the pressure mounts to actually catch the disc.
Yeah, that's when the easy things tend to get more difficult when there's.
I'm hearing a timeout being called. I think Scorillaz, they need to hydrate and get some water.
Yeah, maybe do some recruiting during the timeout and get a couple more players too. No, they'll be fine. We're gonna take a break too. We'll be back after this timeout.
Und erkläre dir den Sidearm-Wurf. Machst eine Schere zwischen Mittelfinger und Ringfinger, legst den Mittelfinger und den Zeigefinger an den inneren Rand der Scheibe. Den Daumen legst du oben drauf, auf die Rille. Den Ringfinger und den Kleinfinger kannst du aussen nachher zum Stabilisieren brauchen. Wir stehen hüftbreit, ausgerichtet dorthin, wo wir werfen wollen. Und wir machen einen kleinen Ausfallschritt zu der Hand, wo wir die Scheibe haben. Dann ist ganz wichtig beim Werfen das Handgelenk. Aus dem Handgelenk machen wir so einen Kick, damit möglichst viel Drall auf die Scheibe kommt und die schön fliegt. Das ist viel wichtiger als die Kraft selber. Die Wurfbahn verschieben kann man in dem verändern, dass man den Winkel anpassen. Das heisst, man kann die Aussenkante aufstellen. Dann macht das Frisbee einen Bogen aussen. Und wenn man die Aussenkante runterhängen lässt, dann macht sie eine Innenkurve.
Du möchtest so werfen können wie ich.
Back into play. Scorillaz took that timeout to try and extend the first half, because if they get broken here, they're going to halftime and not the best way to go to half.
Yes, absolutely. And also, since they're only just 8, probably they just absolutely needed to hydrate. Because these points are stretching pretty long.
Yeah, and it's hot enough out here in Switzerland today. I think it's going to get up to 32 today is what I read. It's not quite there yet. It's hot, but yeah, I mean, they need
Tried
that
to
break.
tow it in there. Number 8.
And just couldn't pull it off. That line came too quick. Miglioretto turns and centers. Now looks to the wide side. Dorn goes back to Miglioretto. And inside to Rumlet. He finds Nico Miglioretto coming under. Miglioretto goes inside. He finds Vollmer. And back, and you see Miglioretto doing what he's here to do, quarterback that offense and involve himself as much as possible. Rumlet pops over the shoulder and does connect again. Now it's Sonderegger. Back to Miglioretto, but too far and smacked away, too high rather.
Just at that moment, the wind started picking up again and just this sailing over the outstretched hand.
Now Stengelen. He's got the fisherman cap on now, shading his face. He's got full shade if you count the beard. There's no shadow touching the skin on his face. Negri. He goes wide. That one hangs. Defense will get a chance. And Bertrand knocks it away. So Bertrand is able to do it at both ends. He likes to be deep, either deep defense or deep reception.
Yeah, he probably just likes to run from one end
Just
to the other.
Young little sprightly athlete who likes to run, jump, and catch. Oh, back in the days, the glory days.
I was just thinking about this. When we were young and springy, running from one end to the other. But I'm still am.
You're still playing. I'm going to play this year.
Another timeout, this time for Free2speed.
2 timeouts and 1 point. This is an epic. This one should count for 3, but it's not going to. It's still only 1. We're going to take another break, 2. Don't you go anywhere. Go click some buttons. Become a patron during this timeout.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Hallo miteinander, mein Name ist Daniele und ich probiere euch den Backhand näher zu bringen. Wir haben eigentlich im Koffergriff die Scheibe. Man nimmt den Daumen über die Rille vom Frisbee und macht hinten die Faust mit den Fingern, mit den restlichen, dass alles schön zusammen ist, sodass keine Löcher entstehen und man am Schluss die Scheibe gut losrühren kann. Nach dem Griff ist der zweite Teil Positionierung. Das macht man, indem man hüftbreit hersteht, zum Ziel her schaut, einen Ausfallschritt macht, muss nicht gross sein. Es geht ja vor allem darum, dass man hier den ganzen Platz hat, um den Backhand zu spielen. Dass ein guter Backhand gewährleistet ist der Drall entscheidend. Man steht raus und gibt den Zwick ganz am Schluss, wenn man den Frisbee aus der Hand gibt. Das ist wichtiger wie Kraft.
So Free2speed have a chat about what they think they should do better. They want to go to halftime here, and if they can score this, it would be a break. It would be a big break to take them to halftime.
Absolutely. They set up in a horizontal stack, something we haven't seen until now. So let's see how they do this and how the Scorillaz will cope with this in defense.
You can already see the way Bertrand's setting up, where he intends on going.
Yeah. He was expecting this one. He was ready for it.
Yeah, it was a little bit too telegraphed out of a timeout to show it that evidently. Oh, Bertrand! Smack away, point block.
And he wanted to keep possession close to the end zone.
What? Nice pickup again to score. And Frisbee with some hot play there. That's Rummelt.
And it takes us into halftime.
Takes us to halftime. 8-4, double up. Frisbee got very good looking in that last point. Despite the missed hack, then there was some great individual efforts there out of Bertrand and Rummelt. And it's 8-4. We're going to take a break. We encourage you to stick around and keep watching.
Absolutely.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Europe, a cradle of culture, melange of languages and beacon of diversity, a continent rampant with rivalries, forged and broken through years of shared history. Time for another chapter. 48 teams representing 22 countries look to cement their legacy at the 2023 European Ultimate Championships. You can join them. Watch live for free only on ULTI.TV.
jetzt Arena und erkläre dir den Sidearm-Wurf. Du machst eine Schere zwischen Mittelfinger und Ringfinger, legst den Mittelfinger und den Zeigefinger an den Innenrand verschieben. Den Daumen legst du oben drauf, auf die Rille. Den Ringfinger und den Kleinfinger kannst du aussen nachher zum Stabilisieren brauchen. Wir stehen hüftbreit, ausgerichtet dorthin, wo wir werfen wollen. Und wir machen einen kleinen Ausfallschritt zu der Hand, wo wir die Scheibe haben. Dann ist ganz wichtig beim Werfen das Handgelenk. Aus dem Handgelenk machen wir so einen Kick, damit möglichst viel Drall auf die Scheibe kommt und die schön fliegt. Das ist viel wichtiger als die Kraft selber. Die Wurfbahn verschieben kann man in dem verändern, dass man den Winkel anpassen. Das heisst, man kann die Aussenkante aufstellen. Dann macht das Frisbee einen Bogen aussen. Und wenn man die Aussenkante runterhängen lässt, dann macht sie eine Innenkurve.
So we are back, second half action. Scorillaz out on defense, so they have the unfortunate potential to be 2 for none. They got scored on, they deliver the pull and play defense, and Free Speed could or more likely score again. So Free2speed definitely having a major advantage in the first half, especially now considering that they start with the disc.
Absolutely. And then with this relatively short pull.
And Miglioretto tries to do it in one throw, but Jablonski cannot put his fingers into the earth to pick up that hammer. So we were just talking about the Panthers. They were on the field supporting Scorillaz. There's a couple of them that play for Scorillaz, but now this season they're playing for Bern, the champions. They maybe wanted a chance to go to EUC, who knows. And and they're just bringing the disc back into play and celebrating a nice catch there. But Panthers have changed their uniform, and I wonder about this because they look just like Free Speed now. And they had beautiful white and gold and blue and gold uniforms before, and now they have gone the way of Free Speed. So if they're wondering why they might have lost, I think it's because of their uniform choice. But there's probably more to it than that.
Likely. Yeah, but there's always discussions like when you change the color or the design too much. Like, do you change the character of the team, the club? Like, what does it say?
Yeah, change the culture. I mean, same as teams changing their names. Like, I find every time a team changes their name, if they had success before, it's very likely to lose it. Jablonski running under. He was the bigger man, but he got out-positioned by Elsemans. What a play by Elsemans.
Absolutely.
Hottie goes wide and around Negri. Holds out the high forehand to fake, and then throws well behind, and no chance there for Stengelen. So still looking for the 2 for none. Free2speed can do it. Miglioretto goes hot and heavy, but busted up by a Stengelen layout.
Lots of traffic around the disc there.
Oh, and Rutlin.
Little loss of focus for a moment.
Yeah, he felt the cameras coming. Miglioretto once again. He now gives the backhand. He sights Jablonski again, and it's Esselmans again who gets the best and breaks it up. The smaller man has got he's got a ladder that he keeps using.
Yeah, but he's jumping high.
Elsemans doesn't need the ladder this time. Now forward, and the break to start the half counts.
There we go. They started on defense, so that's a break for them. So really nice job by the Scorillaz there. And this point was all Elsemans. He was like getting these repeatedly, and then the nice grab there and the assist.
All Elsemans, I agree. He deserves all that credit. He's some great cheers that are coming out of Scorillaz doing their best gorilla impressions.
Yeah, they're going for the ooh,
And I mean, even Scorillaz with the AZ, they've got the notion of the band Gorillaz, Damon Albarn, his post Blur project, whom I love, but I feel like there needs to be some Scorillaz or gorillas playing on the sideline during a Scorillaz match.
Yeah, well, there's not too much music going on here for the moment. It's very, very quiet.
No, very quiet. We got the Flying Angels warming up behind us. They must be on next. That is affirmative. We're going to get the semifinal in the Elite Division coming up next. So we're going to get the winner of the quarter 2, which is Platzkik, playing against the winner of the quarter 3, which we see as Flying Angels. So this will be the game that the Panthers will be watching and crying, saying, we should have been there.
Absolutely. And let's see how fired up Platzers will be after their win against the Panthers.
That's the thing, that as soon as somebody wins in an upset, their next opponent assumes, like, well, this should be easier. But you can never take those teams lightly. If they've won the upset, they can just keep winning. They may have that momentum. They may have that fire to just keep going. We saw it last week in Windmill. In fact, the Italian team that knocked off the French were taken lightly by their next few opponents, and they did lose them, but they fought so hard, and they were very close games.
I saw that game. It was not easy for Groot to beat them.
No, and then again for Great Britain, beat them for the bronze medal, and that was not easy either.
And it's another point for the Scorillaz. Talking about not to take teams too lightly, huh?
2-0 for Scorillaz in the second half. It's still 8-6 in favor of Free2speed, but Scorillaz, all right, why not score 2 in a row?
Yeah, well, closing the gap a little bit.
And so this year's Swiss nationals gone vegan or vegetarian?
I think over the last years they're going more and more vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Yeah. But there's more vegan options as well.
Credit David Moser for a lot of those decisions, I imagine. He's the ageless wonder from Free Speed who is vegan himself.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure. There's a lot of people in the community that are going vegan in many teams. So trying to push for this one, at least also with the sustainability aspect, like at least to go vegetarian.
Ecological sustainability. I think I'm not vegan, but I'm more than happy to eat a delicious vegan-made dish.
Yeah, it depends. I think I'm pushing for that it stays at least vegetarian, because many of the vegan options I cannot eat. Okay. So it's like you have to check that everybody can eat the food that's provided.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think often the vegetarian is then the option that kind of it's the where
In
you
the
find
middle.
a common denominator. Yeah.
Common ground. Well, it is a well-hosted affair thus far in Basel, into our second round only. It's early in this tournament, but because it's like the third phase, it doesn't feel early. Every game has a bearing importance. Even this one in the lower pool, it's still very important in terms of advancement.
Yeah, it's all for placement and the possibility to either remain in the upper league or move up into it.
Promotion or relegation. Miglioretto and Free2speed. Pop pass over the top with a backhand there. And Jablonski, the target, he's found. Julian Sato throws the assist.
Yeah, so who else to look for in the end zone than the tall person? It's always a good choice to make.
Go find your towers. Throw them some treats. I was saying the other day, we used to call the big players on our team timber. Like a lumberjack chops down a tree, timber, but I mean timber would indicate the large tree. But there was one guy on my team who would always look across, and if there was too many short guys on the line, We need some timber out here. This is not where we can't. This is not going to cut it. And so Jablonski qualifying as timber for Free2speed. And we're starting to hear some music now in the background. It's not Scorillaz, but it is thumping bass.
I just noticed the thermometer in the background showing us the temperature. So for those who want to know, we're currently at 28 degrees Celsius.
That's very beautiful. It's a beautiful 28 degrees Celsius with a nice breeze. We're in the shade and we're not running right now, so easy for me to say, us to say that it's beautiful. Maybe hot as heck would be the estimation by the players.
When you're in the scorching sun, because there's hardly a cloud to be seen, so I think if you're out there running on the fields, which look quite nice, I have to say.
Yeah, well done on the organization of the weather. Good job, Swiss Federation.
There's always the thing nobody can control, though.
But
they would love to.
Yeah, the thing that sometimes matters most on the success of a tournament is how well the weather cooperates. That one floats, and Matola, but he has a preservation of greatness there. The throw, he wanted an inside out, but it went an inside in.
He's getting overexcited.
Esselmans, he owned a point 3 points ago, and was there a stoppage there? There was a little bit of contact. I thought they talked about it, but they're playing on. Nice pickup. Winds up the big. Esselmans is under it. Is it going to come back in? Oh, he dragged the toes. I am not sure.
Yeah, I couldn't
if that
see
one
there was
stayed in.
Let's see what the camera says, if you can get an angle on it. We already get some people coming in, looking at the monitors.
Yeah.
But I think for they agreed that there was out.
Okay, so we don't even need to go to our replay, but here it is anyways. In and then out. The play was in. And they've given it right back. They said, well, it was so close, we'll give you another chance anyhow. Negri goes to Esselmans. Esselmans back to Negri. Negri around Esselmans. Two-player game out there right now for Scorillaz. Now they let somebody else involved. That's Stengel, and he shoots for goal. And Esselmans catches it in the precisely the same spot where the foot drag was too far and says, that's fine. I'll do it again and keep both feet in.
Absolutely. This time he had a larger margin, so it was much clearer that this time they counted. Which is another point for the Scorillaz. They're coming back into the game.
Shaving away at that lead. 9-7. Still in favor of Free2speed. Of course, Free2speed's second team. So, Switzerland, Swiss nationals. This is my 4th or 5th time in Switzerland, I think. Not too many times, but I've been. Known for chocolate, cheese, clocks and timepieces. What else? Banks. What else puts Switzerland on the map in the grand scheme of things? Am I missing anything in the grand Swiss iconic items?
A great ultimate.
And great ultimate, of course, and Free2speed. Basel is what we're being told from some of our onlookers here. Good food. I was asking Femke, who's sits on part of the organizing chair of the federation. She, of course, comes from Belgium, but has been in Switzerland for a long time. And I said, what's better in terms of chocolate, the Swiss or the Belgian? Because they are both at the top of the list. And she's like, all right, well, I give it to the Swiss. Swiss have the better chocolate. But we have the beer, is what she said.
They definitely do.
So she can concede. The land of chocolate. It's a beautiful place to be in Switzerland. Sato goes to Willie, and now Miglioretto. We haven't seen a huck out of Miglioretto in a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe he decided to play it safer, because a lot of the hucks weren't working out.
But they were winning more when he was hucking. So there's got to be something to be said. And now Willie.
But also this way you get more of your players involved in the points.
And there is some involvement. That's Utenga, who gets on the score sheet there. And they stretch it back to a 3-point lead. It is 10-7 for Free2speed.
It's always interesting to see when the players of Scorillaz discuss who is allowed to take the break. Since there are only 8, so there's only one who can come off.
Yeah, it's the glorious substitution. They must rock, scissors, paper at some stages to say, okay, come on, I need a turn. I'll compete for it. Swiss Scouter active in the chats. We love to see your activity. Everybody out there, join in. Let us know how you feel. Who's going to win this game? Is it Free2speed? Is it all over? Or is Scorillaz going to make the comeback here? I mean, there's lots of time left. But what do you believe back home? Watching on your screens, on your streams, here on ULTI.TV.
Yes, and while you're doing it, also don't forget to click on the like button. Huh?
You better believe it, Ulrike. Okay, Scorillaz back at it. Esselman's having a cracking game. Elsemans, sorry. And then as I say it, the turnover comes from Scorillaz. Elsemans! You gotta be kidding me. Is that allowed? Are you allowed to be that good? Dang.
Another great defense out of him.
I mean, he left his feet. He was horizontal, not quite shoulder high horizontal, but at least belly high horizontal. That was a fantastic looking layout. So they give themselves another chance because of Elsemans. And let's see what they can do with it. Stangelin goes to Hadi.
Free2speed went back to putting up some kind of zone on, but this one looks much looser than the ones they had before. So I think they're just trying also different looks, see what works, what doesn't.
Gonna throw some stuff to the wall, see what sticks. Which is weird when you're in the lead, but it is good always to give variance and make the opposition keep guessing, lead or not. Stangelin to Negri. Elsemans and a sitter goes to ground by Hadi. So
taking a moment to clean his sunglasses.
Yeah, fair enough after that play. Sonderegger finds Dorn. Then the throw to Hui. Upline cut comes, which clears the dump space. Utenga. He goes backwards to Hui. Nice inside throw from Hui, and Utenga again with the disc. Gainer. Shot for goal. Matola can't get there because the throw is short, and should have had just a bit more on that one. Scorillaz opened it up. Rutland puts it into play. Negri now. Elsemans. Back to Negri and Elsemans again. Good chiseling in the middle of this zone. Now it's Stangelin. Back to Negri and Elsemans. Trying to find a way around this three-man front here.
With good patience by the Scorillaz every time they're trying to attack it. think it's like until the turns, usually most of them were just their own errors, not their defense. But there we see.
Ooh, shot went deep. Jablonski thought he had it cleaned up, but there was still a second effort at it.
Yeah, it was looking good, the second effort. I was not far away. Nice play. Good try by the Scorillaz to get it deep. So now the Free2speed has the full field to work with against the wind. So let's see how they do that.
Yeah, I did like the deep option. You said they were patient, were the Scorillaz. They really were. They went back and forth, and they only took that shot when they established a bit of power position.
Yeah, and we get a timeout from Free2speed.
Okay, so timeout from Free2speed. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you after these words.
So good on drinks? Food, sandwich.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Hallo miteinander, mein Name ist Daniele und ich probiere euch den Backhand näher zu bringen. Wir haben eigentlich im Koffergriff die Scheibe. Man nimmt den Daumen über die Rille vom Frisbee und macht hinten die Faust mit den Fingern, mit den restlichen, dass alles schön zusammen ist, sodass kein Löcher entsteht und man am Schluss die Scheibe gut losrühren kann. Nach dem Griff ist der zweite Teil Positionierung. Das macht man, indem man hüftbreit hersteht, zum Ziel her schaut, einen Ausfallschritt macht, muss nicht gross sein. Es geht ja vor allem darum, dass man hier den ganzen Platz hat, um den Backhand zu spielen. Dass ein guter Backhand gewährleistet ist der Drall entscheidend. Man steht raus und gibt den Zwick ganz am Schluss, wenn man den Frisbee aus der Hand gibt. Das ist wichtiger wie Kraft.
Du möchtest so werfen können wie Daniele? Dann melde dich doch unverbindlich bei einem unserer Clubs und erfahre alles über Ultimate, die schnelle Teamsportart mit dem Frisbee. Alle Infos findest du auf unserer Verbandswebseite ultimate.ch. Wir freuen uns, von dir zu hören.
Soli, wünsche ich euch viel Spaß im Backhand üben.
Swiss Ultimate National Championships into the lower pool here to get a look at Scorillaz and Free2speed out of the timeout. Free2speed with a disc in their own goal. Well, on the goal line anyways. Huey. He goes up line, all sorts of space there.
Yeah, somebody who sneaked away from his defender.
It was good. Rummelt just looked back at his handlers the whole time, never looked upfield. And I don't mind that if you spot something you like after the gainer. You don't have to look upfield. This one is for goal, but Motola can't get there. A little bit stuck to the earth there, couldn't unhinge.
I think he was like backpedaling, and then from this kind of movement to jump up, it's always a bit tricky.
Yeah, and you see again, Rüttlin wanted to stretch the field right away, but Jablonski said, wait a minute, I'm going to have to cover that. Negri goes wide to Stengelen, and that one gets away.
I think he kind of misread the trajectory of that one.
So now a very short field for Free2speed. Utenga engages a lot of tight defense in this corner, and he still forced it. And
Who else?
Elsemans says, no, this is my game. I am Elsemans, and I dictate everything.
Good pressure
Negri.
there on defense. Flying Bertrand.
Stangelin and the Scorillaz trying to figure out this zone for the third time. Ooh, he faked the hammer. It was there. I want to see them throw that. Not recklessly, but it is there. Anton Elsemans.
And interception by Bertrand.
And Bertrand goes, toe drags there. The foot put down by Sonderegger. And Free2speed score to make it 11-7. You know what that means, Ulrike?
Oh, I think I heard that one before.
What?
Somebody's thirsty? Need something cold?
You bet. It's time for a Slurpee. 7-11 is the score. I'm glad you've heard that before. Makes me happy. So, 4-point lead,
Yeah.
4 points away. Nice place to be if you're Free2speed.
Yeah, a bit less than if you're Scorillaz. So they had managed to come a bit closer, and then they see that these breaks again. So let's see what they do if they come back into an upswing.
I mean, you would think this is a point of the game they would put some fresh legs out there, but they don't have that option. They're just going to have to deal with those same old legs and say, hey, legs, let's work better this time.
Yeah, but so far they're doing some amazing stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't have expected the defenses that you were seeing out of them.
They're hanging in there. The scoreline's stretching away, but they're playing a very respectable game out there, all things considered. And Scorillaz again. Anton Elsemans goes back to Negri. Two of them have a 1-2-1-2 back and forth, and then McCroskey gets involved. McCroskey goes to Hadi. And Hadi, why not target Elsemans? Because he's going to get the job done, as he's done all game long.
Yeah, starting sneaky and then accelerating little by little. It was, in the start, I was like, oh, this looks a bit far. And somehow he managed to get there, accelerating.
He's got incredible breakaway speed, Elsemans. I like his, I like his bicycle hat as well. That has nothing to do with his breakaway speed. But, but
Might be
maybe
an explanation for it.
extra aerodynamics, perhaps. But now, geez, did he really just turn on the jets there and open it up? And you got to credit Hadi. He knows his receiver. He saw him use that sideline. I mean, that whole point by Scorillaz was all down the far sideline. They had 40 meters of width, but they only used 2.
They didn't need more.
When you don't need it, why use it? So as we approach the end of this game, we're not there. There's lots of game to be played. We'll let you know that the semifinal in the Elite Division is coming up next.
Oh, we have a drop pull this time from Free2speed.
Oh my God. I don't remember the last double drop pull game I've seen. Negri with a goal line break chance. They do it in more than one throw, though, because there's already one, and it's not a goal. And they go for 2, and who is it? It's Elsemans again. He's doing everything, and it's a 2-throw break for Scorillaz.
Very efficient point for them, so I think this is what they would like.
It's exactly what they need. I mean, to hold efficiently in a one-throw hold is usually a huck. It requires a sprint at least. A one-throw break, 2-throw this time. That's as easy as it gets. especially when you don't even have to chase down the pull. Once you see it dropped, you can kind of slow down and set up. That is an 8-player roster. That is perfect. Do that again. Make them drop another pull. So, you know, how do you make the other team drop pulls, Ulrike? What's the strategy on that?
Well, I think somehow it's like to throw it in a way that makes the person trying to catch it think about it twice. Like, how do I want to catch it? This hand up, or maybe in the crab catch to kind of throw it right away, and then you think about it and maybe add a little bit of wind to make it interesting, and there you go.
Get tough. Bladey stuff usually works. I like to think sometimes if I rub the Frisbee under my armpit before I pull it, that there's a little extra grease on there, and that might be the difference. That's me playing defense while I pull.
Yeah, I've seen also when on rainy days, like trying to people kind of rubbing it in the grass.
Yeah. Here comes Free2speed. This pull fielded because it hit the ground and rolled. And it's Miglioretto in the dump space playing with Rummelt. There's the forward throw to Vollmer. And Utenga. Ooh, pop pass, and he does get away with that to Miglioretto. Miglioretto wound up both sides, but did put it away. Then he gets the under to Rummelt.
Yeah, with the fact that since the Scorillaz kind of need to expect that the deep shot might be coming, so they're clearing out the center of the field, and then you have a Free2speed player sitting in there, catching an easy pass.
And there's the score. It is Vollmer who receives from Utenga. And that makes it 12 on the board, 12-9, I believe. So Free2speed 3 away, 3 in front now. So theoretically that favors Scorillaz. They are reducing the margin of lead.
Yes, but do they have enough time?
Exactly. They've got to reduce it just a bit quicker at this stage. There's got to be some urgency in finding breaks. And they can't even break until they hold again. So
yeah, let's see what they do at this point. And if Free2speed comes out again with the zone. So far, I have the impression that Scorillaz managed pretty well against the zone. I think it favors the fact they don't need to run so much all the time. Just need to do some smart throwing.
I mean, if I'm Free2speed, well, how about, here's the question. If you're Free2speed, what defense are you in favor of right now?
I think I would put a person defense on them. Just make them run a lot and try to get the disc, and then...
That makes the most sense to me, too. They've got twice as many players. They're all young players. Wow, here is a one-throw score opportunity that just goes a bit too far. And Scorillaz are going to have to play defense, but I like it. I like the look.
Yes, it looked really good. It was just that he was running out of field. He was trying to stretch it, get his foot there, keep the feet in bounds, and then hang on to the disc. And the defense that we saw from Free2speed was a person defense. Looks like they've been listening to you.
Listening to you, Ulrike.
To us.
That's it. We both agreed. Ooh, I love the elevator pass there. Free2speed. Zip back to center. And now far sideline. Hammer. It does connect into the hands of Sonderegger. Oh, and can't hang on to that one. Sato sees it hit the ground. Shot for goal, and there is the hold. Negri makes it happen. Felt like a break because it came so quickly off a turn,
yes.
But that is a hold.
Absolutely. Again, we're looking at 10-12. So gap is getting smaller. Let's see if the Scorillaz can continue with the break on that one to make the gap even smaller.
It's back to a moment where they are closer to their opponents than their opponents are to winning the game. These are the moments where you can believe, like, okay, we can do this. We've got time. And as Swiss Scouter in the chats, he believes the break train's coming. Whoop, whoop, he says. Let's see if Swiss Scouter
Looks like
knows.
he's a Scorillaz fan.
Oh, he's a Scorillaz fan based on his commenting. Or his chatting, rather, not comments. But he is all over the Scorillaz. He's got to be fan number one. He needs a stuffed gorilla. He's probably watching with a stuffed gorilla.
Maybe he is a stuffed gorilla. You never know.
Using AI.
Ooh, scary. Okay, Scorillaz, get ready to pull.
Will the break train arrive? Time to find out. Utenga. We see a zone.
Absolutely.
And I don't mind the zone out of Scorillaz, but wow, it gets busted up quick and easy. With a veteran like Miglioretto, he saw the wide open young receiver and just exposed everything.
Bertrand, he was just sneaking away in the backside there, and the Scorillaz defender did not see him, probably, or saw him too late. And picture perfect.
Picture perfect throw by Miglioretto. Here's another look. Bertrand in the end zone there. And so we're getting info from Swiss Scouter, number 12, Herb, who is an injured Scorillaz player. So not just a fan, but a member who can't be here, but is very much watching at home and supporting. And he probably didn't love watching Miglioretto's throw that time.
Yeah. Well, you can always admire skill.
Yes,
It's
true,
always.
true, true. Even when it's against your beloved team. So 2 away, 3 in front, advantage right back into the hands of Free2speed. Free2speed. And it's Negri that brings the disc to the brick spot. Gets the under, the big man, Rütlen. Now to the man of the match, Elsemans. He sends deep, and his throws are working too. He gets a hell of a play at a hottie, and wow, Scorillaz not giving up yet.
Absolutely. Well, he saw what Miglioretti did the point before, and he was like, I can do that too.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Here it is again, Elsemans. And let's have a look at this reception. Hottie, wow, sends the right hand around, trailing edge, twists the body up as he hits the ground. No regard for his well-being. And when you're laying out, that's kind of the way it's got to be sometimes. Everything for the disc.
I think that's the secret in laying out. Just don't think about it, just do it. As soon as you start thinking about it, you won't longer lay out.
Yeah, it's true. I always, when I was, I started at a young enough age that I just laid out automatically, and the later I got into my playing days, there were people who would like want to learn how to lay out. And I was like, what do you mean learn? You just do it. You just go. And I know that I was fortunate enough to be able to lay out, but a lot of people do. They need to like put down the landing gear. They need to know how to put down the second hand and, you know, keep the shoulders up. There's a lot that goes into laying out that you can indeed practice, but to some it just seems natural.
Oh, nice playing there. Little overheads to get over the cup. Because the Scorillaz now, they also come out with a zone, but it's been easily broken open.
Bertrand lays out early because the end zone arrived. That was great play until the last throw was just a little bit too ambitious.
Yes.
lot of monkey love in the chat. Negri. Elsemans. He goes forward. And Hadi gets a touch.
Really nice give and go play there. When it's going,
Elsemans is dancing out there. Oh, that was a bit ugly. And it does go to ground. The throw just way too bladey, and the wind got all of that.
Absolutely, but there was a lot of trying anyway, not giving up, trying to get it. Like Rötlin also throwing himself on the ground.
Here comes Free2speed, Sato. Woo! Stengelin comes flying in and takes that one away. Elsemans. Back to Negri. He gets the under from Stengelin. Hadi. And shot for goal. And that man isn't going to drop a darn thing today. Elsemans with another goal. He's got a million right now.
Absolutely. It's like really the man of the game for the Scorillaz.
He can't put a foot wrong today. He is really everywhere. He's been throwing gold nuggets. He's been having sticky honey hands and catching everything thrown in his direction. And he's had blazing speed and separation abilities. And he deserves every bit of credit that we give him because he's done everything he can to put his team on his back.
Absolutely. And I think he hasn't taken a point off.
Well, I mean, not many people get a point off. But yeah, I mean, that's one you might as well just leave him out there. He's the automatic.
The Scorillaz that come to the water fountain right in front of us, we kind of see the faces. And
they're easy to recognize who's taking a break because it's only one at a time. So back to a 1-point game. It hasn't been a 1-point game in a very long time. 13-12. That break for Scorillaz is timely. If they can get, well, they still need 2 more breaks. They're down by 1, but if they want to, like, you know, 1 more break means they'll lose on Universe. They need 2.
Yeah. Absolutely, but they're making it way more interesting than it was for a while in the middle there.
Oh yeah, and I mean, momentum is on the side of the Scorillaz right now. Free2speed with an upwind look right now. Will Miglioretto use his hand to blow the meters open, or will they do this the hard way? Miglioretto.
Trying to direct his players. I always love the finger pointing. Like, this is where I want you to go.
Yeah, you see the offhand motioning, and again. And then he does go to the wide side there. Hui. Back to Miglioretto. Now it's Sonderegger. Miglioretto again. Trying to engage Willie, but instead goes wide side. Now Hui gets a look. Good defense by the Scorillaz zone here.
Absolutely.
Seems like a standard cup. Maybe not too standard. They flatten out a little bit depending on where the disc is, sideline or center. But Free2speed really having to work to get around. Motola with a touch.
Yeah, very good patience. Trying to keep it simple.
Ooh, and he has a sniff at that one, and he's out of position. Will they be able to take advantage? Motola gets it knocked away. Good defense there by Hadi. Motola not sure. Is he considering calling a foul? He does, and there's no contest, so he's done the right thing. Motola, then he floats one, and Miglioretto bails that out because that was not a nice throw.
He was standing a little bit behind the pack, just reading this a bit better, and oh.
And that
Hui.
one dropped by Hui, but the throw came in way too hot, made it really difficult to catch. Oh, and Elsemans' first error we've seen of him maybe all game. Right as they had a chance to break. Unlucky that timing, because Bertrand now stretches it to 14-12, and this one is getting close to that finish line.
Yes, there's not a lot of chances left for the Scorillaz to make it their game. They need to be perfect from now on.
Yeah,
hold and then double break.
We've talked about Elseman's how well he's been all game long, and you never want to harp on a single error. You know, error's an error. That was a very excusable error. They happen. But that just, that one, I thought that, I was like, okay, this is their chance. They're going to tie it up. But he just missed, and yeah, that one goes to free speed right away, and it's 14 for free to speed. So free to speed with a chance to put this one away.
Just in time, because we should be closing in on the end of the game, 90-minute games. There seems to be some issue on the field. I was like to discuss discussions on the field. I don't know exactly what's going on, but there's like the signaling of a spirit of the game timeout.
Huh. What has happened to entice a spirit timeout? We will find out soon. So maybe not a spirit timeout, just a time check, because time has expired. And that's it. Not a spirit timeout. Game over.
Yeah, I think they needed to. I think they wanted to use the spirit of the game timeout to discuss what's going on. I think it was not a spirit issue. It was more like a clearing up things, and the question was, when did the time expire? So would it be a game 2:15, or would the game have ended with this point? But I think they agreed that the time expired during the last point, so it will be a game 2:15.
That makes more sense. If it's not cleared, if the timekeepers are not whistleblowing clear enough to make it very evident and obvious, they should be playing a point where both teams know that there's potential for it to be over.
Absolutely. And if kind of the time is over is not clearly announced and teams don't know, it's also always tricky.
Yeah, it's the worst way to lose, when you concede a point and you have no idea, and then the other team celebrates the win. You're like, wait, what just happened? How did we lose?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's not going to happen. They know what's up now. Scorillaz need a string of breaks. That throw helps, but not in. One throw away potentially if they can go forward, but they go back center, and that is Rutland with the disc now. He centers Hardy. He looks to go wide now to break. Now he just engages the dump. Negri had Hardy but didn't take him. Oh, Stangelin goes inside. That one counts. 14-13, game to 15.
Yeah, very good patience there in front of the end zone by the Scorillaz.
So, Scorillaz really not giving up. This is, I mean, it's easy to, nobody would ever give up, but sometimes, like, you lose your energy, you lose a bit of momentum. They are maybe getting stronger as this game goes, which is very strange, because they only have 8 players.
Maybe it's the kind of the effect of you're never out of the game, you're always on. And since it's their first game of the day, so they probably still have enough energy to bring them through the game. And when you have plays they've been making all game long, I think this always re-energizes your team when you see people laying out, skying people that are taller than them.
Yeah, they are finding ways to energize one another. They need to prevent a score right now, or it would be over. Free speed, Miglioretti. He goes to Jablonski. Jablonski had Miglioretto, but goes backwards. Miglioretto again. Finds Bertrand.
I think that's a combination we have been calling quite a lot in this game.
Yeah, those two have connected very well together. Willie gets knocked on the mark, and Stengelen knows that he gave a unfavorable shove and puts his hands up acknowledging sorry. Willie forces it into Miglioretto. He goes backwards to Willie again and back to Miglioretto. Low to Jablonski. He closes his wrists on that one. And then pops one back to Willie. Float. Ooh, and there was a chance, but no, it is collected by Dorn. Dorn goes to Bertrand, and there is a break chance for Scorillaz.
And they're off to the races.
Stengelen. Ooh, goes high, well received by Rüttlin. Rüttlin winds up the backhand. Defense guesses, and Elsemans can't catch up. The throw from Rüttlin was off. Ooh, Elsemans. Willie inside out. It's floating. Bertrand on the chase. That's it. They've won the game. Willie loves it with the two-fist pump. And Free2speed take this one, Ulrike.
15-13. Really tight game. Very entertaining, I have to say. There's a lot of great plays from everyone. It was really a lot of fun commentating with you, Stefan.
Well, I agree. It was very fun to have you in the box, Ulrike. I hope we can do it again sometime this weekend. But for now, we wish you good luck in your next game, most certainly.
Thank you. Thank you.
We thank you, the fans, for staying with us and watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and become a patron. 1, 2, or 3 of those options would be great. Otherwise, we'll be back very soon with semi-final action here from Basel at the Swiss National Championships. I've been Stef Pazzo.
And I'm Ulrike Lehmann. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches, and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Europe, a cradle of culture, melange of languages, and beacon of diversity. A continent rampant with rivalries, forged and broken through years of shared history. Time for another chapter. 48 teams representing 22 countries look to cement their legacy at the 2023 European Ultimate Championships. You can join them. Watch live for free only on ULTI.TV.